Still smiling about Pacines. He always does. 19 for double 10. That wasn't an intentional play.
He didn't go for that. He went for a 7.
29. Thomas, you require
So to
10.
finally get over the line, it's actually been harder work now than he expected it to be, Thomas Banks. But he pins the double 5, and you can see from the reaction there how crucial a win it could be. It means his advantage to the Bulldog in the race for Group B tomorrow night. As for Simon Adams, well, he always smiles no matter the result, win, lose or draw. But inside, he'll know that that is a big defeat. Thomas Banks beat Simon Adams by 4-1 in the opening game of the day. After the break, we're going to watch Conor Heenahan against Mr. Chips, Stefan Hendrick. As far as Heenahan's concerned, this is the worst possible start. Well, those darts ain't too little, but it's a case of too late, and it was almost a maxi brought out of frustration. But is it going to be academic? No, it's not, because Hendrick gets over the line by 4-2, and that's a bitter blow to Conor Heenahan's hopes of winning the group.
Evaporated, but he's just been handed a really good chance of getting 4 points ahead going into 4 rounds left. But I do get the feeling that Moreno Blom is going to be like a wild dog off a leash today. He's going to cause everybody issues. He's a self-confessed dartaholic.
44.
He will play 25 hours a day if you let him.
He pretty much did yesterday.
139.
Well, look at this.
Tom, you require 152.
We're talking about a player that averaged 82 yesterday and lost every match. And now he's on for a 13-dart start against the person who's top of the table.
58.
Welcome to another day of darts.
You require 40.
13 darts, and Moreno Blom leads, and anything you thought was possible in this group, well, you might as well just throw the form book out the window.
52.
And if Moreno Blom takes out this tops, the top 2 have been beaten in the first round of fixtures. Moreno Blom has beaten Tom Lonsdale by 4-2. That was after Conor Heenahan was beaten by 4-2. And so still, we are none the riser in terms of this race for Saturday night. Moreno Blom's best performance of the week, average of 91.44, 4 from 12 on the doubles. 2 things happened for Moreno Blom there. First of all, it didn't go 4-3. And second of all, he got the win. Coming up next, Banks and Heenahan. Big game.
Dart that would have won the leg slightly low. That's been his miss this week. Double 16 for Conor. That's exactly what he needed.
Conor Heenahan. Thomas, you require
Conor with another off leg here. And Banks pins the 110 to bring it back to 3-2 and forces Heenahan here to serve it out.
If he finishes the job, he's back at the top.
But the mismatched darts rack up. But he finds the double 4, and you can hear the roar of the Irishman, because Conor Heenahan goes back to the top of the table. It was hard fought and possibly an opportunity he may have felt he'd blown after losing his opener. But Heeno returns to the top of the pile, courtesy of a 4-2 win against Thomas Banks, and that's despite the man from Norfolk having just a shade under 94, but it was 2 from 9 on the doubling, which ultimately made pay for him in the end. Coming up after the break, Tom Lonsdale needs to respond to that win from Conor Heenahan when he takes on Simon Adams. Been the problem this week. It's been missed opportunities. 24% on his doubles yesterday, and he could be punished here. Is punished by Lonsdale, who puts the boot in.
Still is praying that his throw's not going to be broken. But the odds state he might get a chance. He's missed 10 darts at double in this match now. And there you go.
21.
2 out of 11 before that visit did give us some sort of clue that the break might not come.
42.
And Lonsdale's combination finishing so far in this game has been on point. Both his legs have been won with combination outs. But it's double 2 here for Adams.
It was Desmond for the South African.
No score.
He has let this one slip.
Tom, you require 32.
And there you
Shot on
go.
the fifth leg.
That's the
Tom
difference in that
Lonsdale.
leg. That's a 19 darter, and that could have been over so much sooner for the man in green.
Free leaves himself on 21. Adams cannot afford to spurn any more opportunities.
That's too safe.
Game shot on the sixth
That's very
leg.
good. You can
Simon
see how he
Adams.
feels about it, because this is all about what happened in his first 3 games yesterday. He's not playing his best
Seventh
on the
and
doubles,
final
but
leg. It's
somehow
Tom to throw
he is
first.
still in with a chance of
Game
winning
on.
this match. Whoever wins this game will be wondering how.
81.
Don't know whether you saw that, but Simon Adams accidentally drank water out of the wrong cup. It's been a crazy morning. And it's going to be the old 3 for double 15 route.
That's why you don't do it.
25. Tom, you require
Well, Tom Lonsdale
128.
is some sort of Shawn Michaels fan. He's looking for sweet chin music here. Oh, that's
Big
pretty
shot,
sweet.
and the match,
That's
Tom
a
Lonsdale.
heartbreak kid style of shot. How has he won that game? He has spurned many a chance to get a shot at doubles earlier in the match. He gave himself one opportunity to win the game, and with a 1-2-8 on the bull, he walks away with 2 crucial points, which now put him to the top of the table. And Conor Heenahan's reaction to that, I'm sure, was something else. And now everybody's got a little bit more work to do to catch him. But the end of Game 5 sees the beginning of Game 6, which is going to be the Belgian up against the Dutchman.
Can he find a way through? Yes,
Big
is the
shot,
answer.
and
He
the
gets
match,
it between
Moreno
the two.
Blom.
And eventually, Moreno Blom wins. That is despite missing 28 darts at a double in that match. He had 32 attempts at the outer ring. That's double 16. And that causing some problems as well. Well, this time Moreno Blom on the right side of a 4-3 success against Stefan Hendrik. We're going to take a break and we're going to watch Thomas Banks and Tom Lonsdale after it. Amy may
Thomas,
well
you
be
require
disappearing from the top of the
167.
pack.
Good start from Lonsdale.
99.
Exactly what he
Tom, you
needs. He
require
needs to
100.
figure out the scoring process for the rest of the day. This is good. In fact, it's better than good. That
Big
is
shot on the
brilliant.
first leg.
An
Tom
immediate
Lonsdale.
break from Lonsdale. He's working very hard. Tops to win the
Thomas,
match.
you require 40.
Double 10. Goes
No
low
score.
and low into the
Tom,
double
you
15,
require
and Lonsdale
48.
sat on 48 to win it. He has survived match darts against Simon Adams. He survived
shot,
match
and the
darts
match,
against Thomas
Tom
Banks,
Lonsdale.
but has come out the other side. Tom Lonsdale is not making life easy for himself, not by the furthest stretch of the imagination, but he still finds himself in pole position at the top of the group. How he may not know, how we probably don't know, but he's a 4-3 winner against Thomas Banks, who spurned match darts in there, and so he retains a 4-point lead at the top of the table. Conor Heenahan takes on Moreno Blom after the break, but Blom's been the player who is, well, he's the only player with a perfect record still today. 4-2 wins against Tom Lonsdale and a 4-3 win against Stefan Hendrik, and he takes on Heenahan after this short break. Things are getting very interesting.
Hey, Moreno, you require
However,
10.
big pressure on this double 5 for the match.
Game shot,
And for a
and the
third
match,
win
Moreno
in
Blom.
succession, and Moreno Blom is making his move on Wednesday. He lost all 5 matches 4-3 on Tuesday. He's now 3 from 3 here. But on the other side of the coin, as Conor Heenahan walks back down the stage, he may feel like with it his hopes of winning the group, because Tom Lonsdale will have a 4-point lead going into the 4th round of matches, and he takes on Heenahan in the 4th round of matches. Coming up, though, in the middle of that is Simon Adams against Stefan Hendrik.
If he wins, he goes to 12 points. Adams stays on 10. And then there will be 3 on 12, 1 on 14, and Lonsdale, the only person in the table who has a 4-point cushion over anybody. And it just so happens to be 4 points from 1
95.
position to 2
Stefan, you
position.
require 60.
20 for tops. For 4-2 win for Stefan Hendrick, and he gets the better of Simon Adams, and there's a little bit of a boogie between the pair at the end. Well, it may be a basement battle, but both players see the lighter side of proceedings. But here's Stefan Hendrick who gets over the line. He beats Simon Adams.
You require 25.
That's difficult.
9.
And he was still on the walk when he was throwing
40.
that dart. He wasn't set.
He may be set to shake the hand of Heenahan here. Tops of the match. Double 10. And when he's needed a big performance, Conor Heenahan has come up with the goods. A 4-0 victory against Tom Lonsdale keeps his chances of winning Group A alive, and it may well swing the trajectory into his favour. He's still 2 points off Tom Lonsdale, but he's now got an 11-leg swing in terms of the legs difference. He also has to play Simon Adams in his last game. Tom Lonsdale will take on Stefan Hendrick. We're going to break from the top portion of the table for now as we watch Thomas Banks in action against Stefan Hendrick. The winner will move on to 14 points and temporarily above Moreno Blom in the table.
Who played here? Richard Veenstra. He's played here.
92.
He's number 53 in the world. He's the next person after Van Veen.
170.
But it is a match opportunity for Stefan to
60.
wallop his
Stefan,
personal best of the week.
38.
Splits. And it's hit the 18s, so it's going to be double 10.
18.
Doesn't go.
Thomas, you require 110.
Is the shot still on? It is not. His demeanour changes.
It's looking hard work out there for Thomas, and his work in this
47.
game may well be over
Stefan,
because
you require
Hendrick's
20.
looking at double 10 to get the job done
Game
by
shot
4
on
legs
the
to
match.
1, and he will.
Stefan
And what a
Hendrick.
performance, and what a game we've seen. Stefan Hendrick, well, he was threatening the 9. He averaged 96 in the end. Thomas Banks losing out there, an average just shy of a ton. What a game that was. What a treat that was. And a win for Stefan Hendrick, which puts him onto 14 points and temporarily puts him into third place in the table. But that could change in a moment because Moreno Blom takes on Simon Adams.
18.
Triple 20, double 19. Oh, beautiful
Game shot
from
on the
Blom.
third leg.
A
Moreno
ton
Blom.
topper for Moreno to move 2-1 in front. Because he's saying that in practice, things are going very well at the minute.
100.
Things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Matt has been revolutionised by a change in regime. I'm not just talking about equipment. I'm talking about the entire approach. It's almost like Matthew Edgar 2.0. It's really great to see.
28. Moreno,
Looking
you
good,
require
feeling
24.
good, playing good. Moreno's looking good, feeling
Game
good,
shot
and
on
playing
full
good
flag.
here.
Moreno
Go through the
Blom.
gears.
Cannot believe how this game has gone. And Adams could nick it.
Tops of the match. Bends the wire with dart 1. Finds
shot
it with
and
dart
the
2.
Simon
And
Adams.
Simon Adams gets the better of Moreno Blom in a last leg decider. Blom, who'd led 3-1, looked in great stead in that contest. Looked like he was in a great position to progress through.
6.
Another for double 6. Just what the
Game shot on
doctor
the
ordered.
first leg. Tom Lonsdale.
Break of throw in the first leg.
You require
In a win.
122.
Shade over 98. And double top.
Game shot on the
Beautiful.
second leg. Tom
Absolutely
Lonsdale.
stunning. What a way to set up a possible match-winning
Third leg,
opportunity.
it's Stefan, you require 123.
He's gone from a 98 average to an 86.
Game shot on a
Beautiful
fourth
once
leg.
again.
Stefan
A third ton
Hendrick.
plus checkout in 4 legs. And they're not.
Even himself on 72 for the match. It would qualify him for B. It would consign Moreno Blom to C.
96. Stefan, you require
And it would mean
72.
Conor Heenahan has the ball in his court for the match. Double 18. is
Game shot
found.
and the match,
And Stefan
Stefan
Hendrick is going to be in Group B on Thursday and Friday night. And it now means that Conor Heenahan has his opportunity to win the group. Tom Lonsdale has spurned his chance. Conor Heenahan will get his go after the break. He'll take on Simon Adams, but Stefan Hendrick, a 4-2 winner against Tom Lonsdale, doing so of a 91 average. Lonsdale going 2-0 to the good with back-to-back ton plus checkouts. But coming up after the break, Heenahan can confirm his place through if he beats Simon Adams.
This is a chance
76.
to be the winner of Group A. And he knows it.
Game shot and the match. Conor
That man
Heenahan.
right there has won Group A. It was very hard work, but by virtue of the leg difference that he has over Tom Lonsdale, Conor Heenahan, the favourite for the week and the favourite for the group indeed, has now got to 18 points and doesn't have to throw another dart until Saturday. This is how he did it. Not a great deal of resistance coming back from his opponent. He did just about enough. And there it is, 83.33 with 25% on the doubles. Stuff to work on, but his job is done in Group A. Conor, we'll see you on Saturday.
A dart miss low.
I'm going to have to start calling
60.
him Limbo if he
Thomas, you
keeps
require
missing
20.
darts low.
Again, it's low. And now that looks completely blocked. What can he see and what can he find of that?
Game shot
Oh, that's a
and the
superb
match.
dart.
Thomas
It's a
Banks.
superb way to finish his campaign. Thomas Banks gets the better of Moreno Blom by 4 legs to 1 to round off Group A. Well, both of these players will finish up in Group C on Thursday and Friday, but Banks getting the better of Blom by 4 legs to 1, who at one point looked the favourite to be in B, but he finishes 5th in the table. But it is, in the end, Conor Heenahan who's the man who wins Group A, just about from Tom Lonsdale. Right, I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to try and sum up what has been an unsummatable group after this. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we've had a real crazy Group A campaign which has come to a culmination. Conor Heenahan, who was the favourite before a dart was thrown, went on to win it, but it really wasn't as easy as that. Myself and Paul Newman's been watching every single dart in the commentary box. This is what we have seen today. These are the results from our 15 matches, and well, really it all began when Moreno Blom beat Tom Lonsdale 4-2 and Conor Heenahan lost 4-2 to Stefan Hendrick. Did the crazy day begin?
Yeah, I think Lonsdale is going to go back to his accommodation in the next few minutes thinking, I let that slip. And the way he performs over the next 2 days is going to tell us how he bounces back. He had his invite. I think he's had his chance, but what I don't want for Tom from this point is to come back here and think that he's missed his chance of making Saturday. He does have a second chance in Group B, which is ultimately a lot easier than through Group C. But yeah, that's going to be a bitter pill to swallow. And some people have put Tom into that position, and Conor Heenahan was the benefactor.
Well, it's his defeat to Stefan Hendrick which really put him in the hole. That was the defeat that ultimately gave Conor Heenahan the opportunity to go and win the group. And Lonsdale was 2-0 up in that match. A couple of ton plus checkouts, and Hendrick just went on a 4-leg spurt, and Lonsdale had no response.
We said before that match took place that it was the wrong time to be playing Stefan because he was just starting to find his best game, and he played his 2 best games in his last 2 matches. So watch out Group B. He could be a bit of a thorn on the side of some of the players, but yeah, I'm sure at 2-0 up when he's had the 2 ton plus checkouts, he's thinking, this is mine now. But it all seemed to fall apart from that point.
You mentioned that Tom's got to find a way of regrouping and saying that there is a second opportunity. How does he best do that?
Be honest with yourself. Write down or say to yourself in the mirror, how did I feel under these circumstances and what do I do to improve that? Sometimes the worst thing you can do is just turn up and expect different results with the same mentality. You've got to make these little changes. If he's not comfortable with how he was in pressure situations today, talk to somebody about it and then feel stronger for the next day.
Well, it's Conor Heenahan who went on to win the group in the end, getting the better of Simon Adams. you felt today he never really felt comfortable at any point, but did enough to get over the line.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he felt pretty comfortable against Tom Lonsdale, didn't he? His main rival in this group, especially over the last couple of days. I mean, what is it? He's won the majority of the legs over the last 2.5 days against him. But against Adams, you just felt like the South Africans' chance of putting Lonsdale through, that was early in the match when Conor was really struggling. Towards the end of that match, he really started to find way too much for Simon, and ultimately he's got to go to Group C, whereas Conor we're not going to see until Saturday.
Will the 2 days off be a benefit in the fact that he can just forget what's happened, just go back, he's going to have a friend come over for a couple of days, he can just chill out, almost forget about what's happened, and then when it comes to Saturday, it has a brand new, fresh feel in the tournament?
Potentially. I think it depends on approach. You look at someone like Jim McEwen, he will search out a practice board and just go and hammer it. Connor Scott is another great example of this, someone who was here very recently. But if you feel like you aren't at your energized best and you feel that rest is going to be key, you've got to rest properly. He's referenced that you can't sleep properly in his accommodation wherever he is because it's very warm. Do something about it. Don't just sit there and think that it's going to happen. Do something about it. If you're in a hotel room that's not very well ventilated, either change your hotel room or go and buy a fan and then feel better for Saturday where you can win a lot of money and a place in Champions Week again.
Waterbeds are very good in this type of weather as well, may I say. Anyway, I'm not going to go on the Argos.
I'm not going to ask how you know that.
I'm a middle-aged man trapped in a 23-year-old's body. Right, let's go and have a look at the table then, following the end of Group A. Conor Heenahan winning it in the end from Tom Lonsdale. But to be perfectly honest, none of this group makes any sense whatsoever, apart from the fact that if you looked at the table, Heenahan was the rightful winner.
Yeah, I think in a sense you could say that because he's won the most legs. I mean, we are going really deep with this. But that possibility of Lonsdale winning this group with a negative leg difference, no way. I mean, now we know it's possible because it could have happened. But if you'd have said that to me on Monday morning at 9:25, I would have said, not a chance. Because we've seen people win groups like this with leg difference plus 30 and more. So to see that happen, it just goes to show that every single week is different.
So that's how the table looks. This is how the tournament bracket breaks down for the rest of the week. So Heenahan through to Saturday night's final. Lonsdale and Hendrick into Group B alongside Steve Hine, Scott Mitchell and Mike van Dijvenbode. Group C, Adams, Banks, Blonde, Campbell, Atkins and Grierson. Let's talk about that B because that's a group and a half there. Yeah,
that's pretty useful. I know Steve Hine's going to be in the mood. We know Scott Mitchell he's brimming up to do something here. Could it be Scotty Dog's week? I think he's got a great chance. But the unknown factor really, it's not really unknown, but based on recent form, we're not sure what Mike van Dijvenbode is going to bring. He's going to be tall. Hopefully he's going to have a big quiff. The pigeon's back. You know, the guy can play. But I'm not really sure where his game is at. I'll be fascinated to see what happens there.
In terms of C, you got two very capable players coming in Jamie Atkins, and then also coming into the mix, Scott Campbell. Two players with good CVs, play at a very good level. The three players that dropped out of Group A are going to have their work cut out.
Yes, they are. They can't take them for granted. Don't take them easy because someone like Scott, someone like Jamie, for instance, we're talking about, and I'm not just saying this because we're on the spot right now, but they are potential weekly winners. Because they've got a lot of darts in the tank, they could well spring a surprise for some other people, but to us, it wouldn't be.
We've got 2 days worth of fun ahead. Looking forward to spending it in your company. It's been good fun today, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It's been very unpredictable. I expect a lot more.
Well, Paul, thank you for your company as ever. Thank you for your company at home. We'll be back at 1 o'clock, remember, on the Super Series YouTube channel to see how Group C gets underway. But as far as Group A was concerned, well, it was completely unpredictable, but it was Conor who conquered.